Oh, folks, following on from the last episode, thank you so much for continuing to support this series. And we are going to need that support throughout the rest of the season because it's been a struggle to start this stint at Norwich City. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend, Club 3, Episode 2 with Norwich City. My name is Craig, and come up in today's episode we have a relegation clash at home against fellow strugglers Sunderland, as well as all the ins and outs of the January transfer window. So it's only going to be one match in this episode. It's been about 2 months in-game since I've taken over. Yeah, you can see it on the screen from the schedule. It has been an absolute slog just to get this far. One league win. One. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In 10 league matches. This is not why the board hired me. They hired me to get them out of a relegation scrap, but unfortunately, it looks like it's going to go very, very deep into the season, assuming not only that we survive, but that I survive in this job as well. Just one league win and a whole host of draws in the meantime as well. It means that currently going into this game against Sunderland, as you can see, we are just outside the bottom three on goal difference. I've actually just noticed Burnley's is way worse than ours, thankfully. But we are at home against Sunderland, who are bottom of the league. 2 wins this season, which is about the same as us. We've won only 2 games out of 21 the entire season. This has been a horrific season for Norwich. And 10 draws. That's the only reason we are where we are. 10 draws. But it does, that last victory that we got, which was in the last game against Southampton, who are 4 points ahead of us, it gives us a bit of hope for getting out of this situation. But we need a victory against Sunderland here today. But before we get to that, we are going to go through all the transfers in, and there's a lot of them, and a few that have gone out. So just quickly, with the outs, we're just going to quickly go through because you won't really be too familiar with them anyway. We only took over in November. Charlie Taylor, one of our older left backs, he has gone, a 33-year-old. He's gone to Olympiacos for how much? 700,000. Looks like he's having a good time over in Greece as well, getting a 7.2 in his first appearances. Could have given him a chance here, but the fact he's 33, we got money for him. He's out the door. Luke Bradley Morgan was a youngster, so £17,000 we got for him. Serge Aurier we got 1.7 million for. These other transfers are now going to be behind my head, so I'll just go into them each very, very quickly. But he was a right back who went for £1.7 million as a 34-year-old Ivorian international. He's gone to Osasuna in Spain, hasn't played for them yet. That might be a recurring theme for him towards the end of his career. Dwayne Brooks was a youngster, £275,000, rising to 400k, that's fine. Joe Fair's on loan, Darren Stewart on loan. All 3 are youngsters, so that's absolutely fine. Nathan Baxter, one of our reserve goalkeepers, has gone to Newcastle for £475,000. Ignore the valuation here, 2.2 million. We weren't going to get that for him. He's a League One level goalkeeper. I'll be very surprised if he even plays at Newcastle, to be honest. He wouldn't have got into our team. But the biggest one you might have seen down here at the very bottom, Todd Cantwell. He has gone to Başakşehir in Turkey, £14 million. That is a bit cheap. I wanted at least 20 to 25 million for him. No one was biting, and he wanted to leave. He wanted to get out. He didn't want to be here anymore. And because of the tactic that I'll probably show you in a moment, you will probably see why, because we're not playing him as well. That's a big part of it. Is he a decent Premier League player? Yes, he is. But he just didn't perform for me, even when he did come on. So it's a bit of a shame. I'd have liked to have kept him here, considering the history I have of him at Norwich City in FM21. But it just wasn't going to work out, especially for the system that I am currently using. Again, you'll see that before we get into the game against Sunderland. But now, for the players who have come in, and there's been quite a few actually. There has been six so far. I'm still going for other players at the moment, but it just depends who else is out there. But firstly, we have brought in a new centre-back, Eduardo Quaresma, 24-year-old Portuguese, former under-21 international, 3.5-star current ability. I've had him at Norwich in FM21. I didn't go searching for him, he just came up in my scout reports and he was available. So I thought, you know what? Let's see how much we can get him for £8 million. Really, really good. Well, up to £9 million with add-ons, but it's still a cheaper price than what Augsburg paid for him in the Bundesliga too. He's been having a good time down there as well. He is a decent Premier League player, so I'm very happy to have got him in. He can partner Aubameyang in the back four. This guy, you remember. Looks familiar, doesn't he? Mark Scully, for anyone who has watched the Wickham part of the series as well. We've brought him in, our 6'8" big target man up front. 21-year-old 3-star compatibility, 4.5-star potential, £11 million. Not too bad considering Man City were looking for up to 18 million for him. Is that with add-ons? Alright, with add-ons 12.75. I still think that's a pretty cheap price considering he's been doing it in the Championship. Even after I left, I think he carried on scoring. He scored another 4 goals in like a month or so. So very well done to him, and let's see if he can do it here at Norwich City. I mean, to be fair, even if Norwich somehow went down, they'll still have a very good player in the Championship. In fact, does he have a release clause on him? Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, 23.5. So Norwich, regardless, will make profit on him anyway. A loan signing from Tottenham. For me, that lot up the road as far as Arsenal fans go. German Sanabria. Let's have a look. 21-year-old Argentinian international. I only realised he was an international after he arrived at the club, so a nice little bonus. 3-star compatibility, 5-star potential, 21-year-old centre-back. He's played a handful of games at Tottenham, who just literally brought him in from River Plate in Argentina. 5.75 million, we're loaning him for 750,000. Yeah, I think he'll be alright. Premier League standard player as well, so we've now got 3 defenders who are Premier League standard. Very, very happy with that. And hopefully he'll be good backup, or he'll force his way into the first team. Who knows? Alongside Aubameyang and Quaresma. Paulo Cesar from Atletico Mineiro. Hang on. Paulo Cesar, Mark Scully. Have they all got the same face? That's a bit concerning. Paulo Cesar, 20-year-old Brazilian under-20 international, 3-star compatibility, 5-star potential, first Brazilian of the save. We've bought him in for £10.25 million. I think that's the overall cost. No, it isn't. 11.75 with add-ons. He's been tearing it up in Brazil, basically, so why not bring him in? He is Championship standard at the moment, but potential to be Premier League. He played in the FA Cup match that I just did against Wolves. Though surprised maybe that we came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2. He might have had something to do with it. Certainly physically he's very good, mentally very good. Technically he can do exactly what we need him to do. As a deep line forward he actually did play, so that's his favourite role. More than fine with that. We do, as a little spoiler, we do play with 2 strikers up front now. Luis Fernando Suarez, basically Luis Suarez. There's a few of them floating around football at the moment. 2.5-star compatibility, 4.5-star potential, 20-year-old Colombian goalkeeper. He is the backup to Freddie Woodman, at least for the rest of the season. We brought him in for up to £1.2 million, an absolute steal. He's been having a good time in the Colombian First Division. Another Championship player with Premier League potential. Personally, I think he's going to be the long-term answer to Freddie Woodman. He's also about 9 years younger. He's got plenty of room to grow. And finally, we've brought in, I believe, another Brazilian, Z. 20-year-old Brazilian under-20 international. Is a central midfielder, 2.5-star compatibility, 4.5-star potential. Another one who's been having a good time in Brazil's Serie A with Fluminense. And we brought him in for 5 million. Yeah, 5 million flat. Very, very happy with that cost. And again, Championship player, Premier League potential. You see what we're going for. But what this does is allow us to have a bit more depth in central midfield, because what I found, we were playing a lot of players. Oh, sorry, not a lot of players. Playing the same players in central midfield, and they were just getting tired game after game, which was not helping. So Z will hopefully give us that squad depth that we so desperately need. As I said, we're in for other players at the moment. I will let you know if they do come through. If they don't, chances are we'll probably go through to deadline day with at least a few million in the transfer kitty after all the transfers that have gone in and out. Still got 13.2 million in the transfer budget. And how much do we have? About 70,000 maybe? 70,000, you could push it 10% over maybe, so probably about 100,000 or so, 140,000. No, but not that much actually. Looking about 80 to 100,000 in the wage budget. So if we don't buy anyone before deadline day, be prepared, we might be coming back for deadline day. But it depends if we get any deals in before then. And so this is going to be the team that we're going to send out for the game against Sunderland. And this is the tactic that we have been using effectively to try and make ourselves hard to beat. We've got a lot to do defensively. In fact, should I... The problem is that I'm not convinced that with wing-backs at the moment, because obviously we don't actually have any wingers or wingers cutting inside further up the pitch. So we're having to rely on our wing-backs. Where the problem is, if we end up losing the ball, it's a bit more of a problem. I'm going to have a look at that closely in this match probably. But for now, this is going to be the 11 that we're going to send out. Woodman in goal, Davis, Quaresma, Omobamido and Lazaro as the back four. Quaresma's first start with Omobamido, who's been on holiday, so hopefully he'll be nice and fresh for this game. Pereira in the base of the defence as a half-back still. I find half-back works better than defensive midfielder, but we'll keep an eye on how that goes. He might become a ball-winning midfielder. He's more than capable of doing that, so we'll keep an eye on how that goes. Callum Styles, Krau and Egerstein in central midfield. Styles, by the way, absolute quality as an attacking central midfielder. It's not even one of his favourite positions, but you know what, the man can do it. He's kind of an all-rounder in a lot of roles, so very, very happy. He's also tied down for another 2.5 years, so very happy. We don't have to worry about him contractually at the moment. Long may it continue. In fact, he's an ever-present for Norwich for the past 2 years in the Premier League. Might be a key reason why they didn't get relegated. Tony and Nketiah will be the men up front. Nketiah's position, though, and Tony's position, both of them are under threats from Cesar, Solis and Mark Scully. Scully will miss out today, but you got Solis and Cesar on the bench ready to come on if needed. So Tony and Nketiah are going to have to do the business. If they want to stay in this team, they better be setting up goals or scoring goals, preferably scoring, because otherwise we're going to have a lot of issues. Alright, seconds out. I think this is a match on the telly, judging by the match graphics. And as I've mentioned, Sunderland rooted to the bottom of the league, got the same amount of wins as us this season. We want the 3 points, and as you can see, it's stupidly tight down there. Stupidly tight, especially between us and Burnley at the moment, and I would like to give us some clear headway between us and Burnley right about now. In fact, we're the only game tonight, so we need to be taking advantage of that. In fact, we are going to go positive because we're at home. We should be going positive. The fans are going to be demanding that of us. Now, as I mentioned previously, it's been a struggle getting to this point in the previous 2 months in game, and in that time the board gave me a E- grade, which is the lowest I've gone in this whole save so far. I really was a bit worried that I was going to get sacked before this segment of the series had actually got started, but thankfully I think we worked it up to a B- or a C at the moment. So here's hoping we can continue the good fortune. I'm just hoping that we can get another win on the board here and just build off of that Southampton victory. That victory against Southampton, because that was so priceless. The relief on my face. I was doing celebrations around my own room when that victory was confirmed. Good turnover there by... who was that? Was that Danilo? As the halfback especially. That was pretty impressive. But we've gone and lost the ball again. Let's say too much of a feature of our midfield. I just wonder, do we have too many central midfielders? I mean, the whole point is to actually condense the midfield. We need some runners here. Come on, boys. Styles. Oh, he can hit them. Styles came so close. He's been known to hit them. I thought he might actually have another go from outside the area because there was no one running ahead of him. I don't know what's going on. In fact, I'm just going to make one quick change. Nketiah is going to be a poacher. And what I need him to do... He does do it. Move into the channels. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. In fact... Well, that is part of his... Shoot more often, man. You know what? Shoot more often. Good grief. He can score. He scored a hat-trick against Brighton the previous month, so I know he can score. He just does it so infrequently. It is frustrating. And as much as I wanted to look for a striker in this window, no true striker is going to come to us while we're battling a relegation. So we're going to have to hope that there's enough goal scorers in this team right now to get us to the summer, survive, and then we try and get in proper goal scorer in the summer. I can just imagine a massive turnover regardless of survival or not in the summer. Whether we're going to be around to do it or not, up for debate, but it's in my club vision, avoid relegation. So I can imagine I will probably get sacked if I do get relegated, which won't be great. I don't know why you didn't go for the ball then, Nketiah. It doesn't matter, you want it back. There is Tony. Now if he could just find someone running ahead of him. It's not the most direct. There's Nketiah. He has put the ball back in the net, but there is a call for offside. I think he might have just been on. The arms are up in the air. Now, people have said if the arms are up in the air, it is a goal. It is a goal. So big. Such a big goal. We needed that. I was saying, if the arms are up in the air when it comes to the celebration, it usually is a goal. So, sorry to spoil that for anyone who didn't want to know that. I didn't know. This is what happens when I watch streamers on Twitch. But that is a big goal. I told you Nketiah can score. He, again, just does it so infrequently. We have made it to half-time, though. It is 1-0. Happy with your performance. Keep it up. Yep. Happy with the performance. Let's go. If we can bag another couple of goals as well, that would make me a very, very happy man. Because I've seen this defence. I've seen it too many times. It makes me so sad. There is Tony. Oh, Tony's been taken down there. Oh, I thought it would have been a penalty, but the referee giving absolutely nothing. It looks like Tony got taken down, but oh, the ball was won back there by Davies, and Nketiah had the freedom of the penalty area for a volley. Should have taken that. Should absolutely have taken that. He actually had time. There was no one back behind him. And I think this is the first game that, hopefully, touch wood, touching all the wood right now, we are getting more chances at the moment, but that's what we need. We need chances, and we need to be putting them in the back of the net. As mentioned before, the magic points total in the Premier League to survive is usually about 40. I don't know how we're actually going to get ourselves there as quickly as possible, because this is a squad that is struggling really, really badly. We've just given the ball away there at the start of that highlight, which is never a good thing. And it's through here. Oh my god, I thought that was in. Right, it's substitution o'clock. We are going to need to get a few of these players on. Paulo Cesar, do you know what? Tony has done absolutely nothing, so Paulo Cesar is going to come on. He's going to come on in that deep line forward role. Z? Callum Styles is actually tired. He's actually more tired. So you know what? Eggestein's going to be an attacking midfielder, the central midfield attacking, and Z will be that supporting role. And that will be the only change we'll make for the moment. Z, he has his moments, but I think because he doesn't really speak English very well, he's going to be very hit and miss, certainly at the start. So it's up to us to coax him along a little bit better, if you will. It's going to take a bit of time, obviously, for the Brazilian players who are just coming in and the Argentinian players, basically players who are coming from outside the UK, obviously. They're going to need time just to settle in. Problem is, we don't have time. Sanabria. Oof, actually, I'm just looking at my fullbacks. Or rather, my wingbacks. Actually, Sanabria can play there. That's rather interesting. He can actually play there, so I'll tell you what, he's going to be a fullback. No, just leave him on wing-back. Leave him on wing-back for the moment. We'll see how that goes. Corner here for Norwich, and there, I don't know who was actually on the end of that. I don't know if it was a Mobamidel or someone. In fact, no, it wasn't, because he's right out there. Cesar into Eggestein. There's Nketiah, but unfortunately, oh god, we've just been caught on the counter here. Oh, well done. Who's that? Mobamidel. Oh dear god, what is Z doing? I told you, he's hit and miss. He's hit and miss. Sanabria, clean up. Oh my god, they can't hold on to the ball. Cesar driving it forward. That's what I like to see him do. He plays it out wide as well, which is excellent. Oh, Eggestein is through here. Oh, he should have sealed it. He should absolutely have sealed that. Time is ticking here as we're down into the final minute. I'm literally just using all of my game management here as we are still on positive, and we've hit the 94th minute, and that is a vital 1-0 victory. Oh, that was much nervous than it should have been. Although looking at the stats, we absolutely deserved it. I think that's the first game we've actually truly dominated. Yeah, we weren't at our best, we really weren't, but we got the result. The 3 points are what matters, and that will keep us out of the bottom 3 for the moment. Okay, we've played a game more than everyone else, but I would rather the points than the games in hand, to be honest, at this stage. Norwich in controls, the Black Cats have brushed aside. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Again, first game that I've seen us actually dominate, so well done, Norwich. And that makes for a bit of good reading in the Premier League as well. You've seen the league table already, but hopefully we stay north of that relegation zone for the rest of the season. Now, we are going to come back. Like I said, if we haven't made any more deals and we've still got some money in the budgets, we'll come back for deadline day at the end of January. If not, we'll be back somewhere in February, probably looking around Brighton, Brentford, to be honest. We'll come back for those 2 games, if not for deadline day. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes of Unemployed to Legend as we actually truly battle for survival. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on this series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.